All right, fire away.
All right. Hey guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here with all of you guys, talk to you guys about social selling, dump all of the info on you guys. I have got a ton of stuff that I want to cover and I'm super stoked. But I guess I should introduce myself. I'm never good at that part. Pardon the crazy hair, don't care, but you know what? That's Hot Mess Express is part of my jam. So I'm sure you guys will get to see worse than crazy hair, maybe if you're lucky. I don't know. So my name is Lucy Heinen. I have been in business for 12 years, 13 years. I think I just had my 13-year anniversary, so it has been a minute. Social selling, ironically, is not my jam. I always consider myself a party girl, but I've always made social selling work for me. So I'm excited to share that info with you guys. I'm a senior board of directors member and senior executive director with Pure Romance. I'm trying to think of what else. In 2018, I broke the global sales record with over 300,000 in sales and always consistently sell over 100,000. I was also a really slow starter, and I feel like that's always important for me to share too. I started this business and I was like, this is going to be so fun. And I was 19 and I didn't know anything about anything, and making $100 was like winning the lottery. And I have grown from there, where I realized I deserved more, I wanted more, and I started to treat my business like a business. And then, holy mother of God, it actually started to pay me like a business, and it was all really good things. So I am so excited to share. So I'm just going to dive on in, because like I said, introductions just make me really uncomfortable. I'm going to try my best to keep an eye on the chat, hit you guys with, hit any questions that we get. You guys are all so sweet. Oh my gosh, you guys are so nice. So social selling, you guys, I've got some sales tips for you guys, but I kind of have a couple things that I want to just generally sort of talk about. So I'm going to start with those. Number one thing for me, for all of you guys to understand, I am not a social media guru. All right. Like I am not, I don't know how TikTok works. The only reason I know TikToks exist is because it shows up in my Facebook reels, right? Like I'm working on it. Hold my beer 2022, because I'm gonna make all the money on TikTok. Somebody asked me for my Instagram handle the other day, and I just stared at them like they were crazy because I didn't know what that meant. And they're like, well, aren't you on Instagram? I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, well, what's your like handle thing? Like, how do I find you? I'm like, I'm not sure. Let me find the app. Let me open it. All right. So I am not someone that you guys should run out and, follow on social media right at this moment. I will be. But here's my thing. I treat social media a little bit different. It's kind of a mix of old school and new school, because for me, social media is a massive sales tool. It's a massive recruiting tool. It's a massive growth tool for you guys to use in your business. But I didn't approach it as something new and as something different. It's the same thing that I've always done, but on a different platform. Right. And I think that that's why for me on social media, my sales are so high, is because I don't treat it like it's this scary, new, crazy. Are any of you guys intimidated by social media? I guess I should ask that in the chat. If you guys are intimidated a little bit by social media, let me know in the chat, because I still am a little bit. I'm like, I don't know how it works. I don't know how to do this editing thing. How much time is this going to take? Like, I'm not really sure. And so I got really in my head, even with groups. I'm like, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to post? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to talk about? Like, what if people don't care? And so for me, I realized that social media is just number one, a database. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But everything else is the same damn thing. So if you guys leave this class with nothing else, it's that I want you guys to shift your attitude that social media is a different platform to do what you've always done, right? And that's where my sales came from. That's where my virtual party success came from. I didn't treat virtual parties any differently. I'm like, cool, I'm going to do a party, but I'm in my living room, not their living room, but everything is exactly the same thing, right? Like when I'm talking to somebody via Messenger, it's an ordering room. Y'all, I do exactly what I do in an ordering room. I just do it via Messenger. When I do a live, and I'm going to transition that to like TikToks and Reels and all these other things, it's a demo. It's just shifted a little bit differently, but it's the same thing that you guys already do. You guys already know how to do. You guys already have experience with. Just transition that a little bit, right? Just transition your frame of mind so that it's not this big, crazy, overwhelming, scary, different thing. And also, there are things that work for a reason, right? Upselling techniques work because they are upselling. Like doing a demo works because it's a sharing of information. So for me, like way old school, right? 13 years ago, people were like, network, call people, go to the mall and hand out business cards. Well, when you go to the mall, you're talking to somebody. On Facebook Messenger, you're talking to somebody. If you're in a mom's group on social media, you're talking to somebody. Literally, it is a virtual mall. Okay, that's it. Social media is a virtual mall with a shit ton more people, right? Like it's going to the Mall of America on steroids. And you have this opportunity to connect with this mass volume of people. And I think that that's really important for you guys to understand, though. It's still about that connection. It's still about how many people can I go to the mall and talk to in a day? How many people can I make connections with? How many people can I do business with? Can I book some parties? And can I maybe get some sales because I carry Basic Instinct around in my purse? Does that make sense? Okay, cool. I'm like, I can't see everybody. Let me change that because I can see your faces now. So if you guys nod at me, I can actually tell. Excellent. So that's kind of my first social media tip, you guys, is that you need to bring all of your previous experience. And maybe you're a newer consultant, I don't know, and you're all about that social selling life. Perfect. Well, then I actually think you should go OG a little bit and get some experience from women. If you see a cool old training video, apply that to social media. If you guys have been around the block for a minute, take what you guys have learned, those in-home party fundamentals, right? And apply those to social media because it's the same things that are going to help you guys be successful. Okay. Now, another big disclaimer for me on social media is I actually think there's two different approaches to take on social media sales and recruiting specifically, right? It's kind of social media success. Here's number one, volume. Number two is connection, right? It's sort of this idea that you could go to the mall, right? And you could decide, I'm going to book 2 parties with 2 women today while I'm in this mall. Or you could go into the mall and you're like, I'm going to hand out 250 business cards. Volume versus one-on-one connection. Social media is exactly the same way. You need to choose, I think, which route you're trying to take. Are you trying to reach mass amounts of people? Awesome. Or are you trying to make 10 genuine connections? Doesn't matter to me which route you guys take, but I think it's important to know what your intention is. And for me, the reason why is so that you can set your expectations. Do any of you guys ever post something on maybe about booking or about, I don't know, maybe grab bags, or you're trying to sell something, right? You're trying to sell shave cream in a social media post. And you're thinking in your head, like, yeah, like I spent all this time on this post and I took this selfie and this is going to be so good. And all these people are going to be, sending me orders. And then you post it to your group and it's crickets. Yes. Guess what? And I'm sorry, you guys, I also swear, oh, there's littles. I can see littles in backgrounds. Okay, I'm going to try really hard not to. It freaking happens. Of course it happens. Right? So this is where you guys need to check your expectations. Are you doing that post to reach 100 people? Or are you doing it to sell 200 shaving creams? Because if you're doing one singular post to try to sell shave cream, I'm going to tell you guys right now, post is not enough. Period. A post is not enough. If you guys think about it, if you have 200 women in your group, if you do one post and you sell 1 shave cream or 2 shave creams, that's 10% of your group. That's actually pretty damn good. And yet somehow our expectation is, I'm going to put this magical post in there and I'm going to sell 500 shave creams. Well, sweetie, you have 250 women in your group. So how the hell are you doing that? Like that would be really impressive. So instead, you guys need to be aware so that you can check your expectations. If you guys want to sell 200 shaving creams online, then guess what? A singular post, not going to do it. You guys need to message people. And I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. You guys need to message. And I don't mean message once. I don't mean message twice. I mean message 3 times. So I'm going to kind of focus on this because if you guys are not messaging, you are not going to sell anything online unless you're going viral on TikTok. Right? Because if you're reaching 16,000 people and you do 10%, you're selling 160 bottles. That is success to me, right? But if your group doesn't have that many people, it's not going to happen. So you need to message 200 people. And you need to message them 3 times. How many of you guys, quick raise of hands or nods or whatever, how many of you guys have kids? Okay, how many of you guys have partners or family members that are all up in your business all the damn time? Excellent. How many of you guys are busy? How many of y'all have day jobs? Okay, yeah, right. Okay. I feel like we've established that as women, we're busy, right? Oh my God. Listen, I saw somebody said that they have a dog. Okay, my dog will literally climb in my lap, and I have 2 kittens that I'm pretty sure are terrorists. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but it is what it is. Like, you guys, life happens, things happen. So here's the other thing is some of you might be thinking, well, I do message people for orders. And my question is, how many times? And they're like, well, once. I didn't want to harass them. And I'm like, listen, what happens to you? All right, you guys are going about your business, you're going about your day, you're in the grocery store, you've got your kids with you, partners with you, you're not sure where the hell they went, pretty sure they're in the ice cream aisle, but like if you whistle, you know they'll come running, so it's fine. It's mostly the kids that you're worried about. And then you get a message and you're like, oh man, that actually looks really good. I do kind of want to try that shampoo shit, but then you turn around and your kid's trying to shove a grape up their nose. Right? Like, just me? Right? And you're like, okay, I'm gonna hit her back. Well, listen, by the time you get home, you chewed your husband out because you couldn't find them in the grocery store. They didn't come running. They went to the car. Why would they go to the car, right? Why would that be the meeting place? You finally get in the car. Your other kid throws up. By the time you get home, you roll in, the door's locked. You can't find your damn keys. Your husband's still dicking off doing something. So you decide to really tear into him. Are you going back to that message about shampoo? No. But in that moment, did you genuinely want to buy the shampoo? Yes, right? So this is where we have to understand that our experience that we have on social media is also the same as everybody else's. We are busy. We also forget things. Things get lost. Things get buried. How many of you guys have seen maybe like a Facebook ad or something that popped up and you're like, oh my God, I need to find that later. And then you actually genuinely look for it and you swear to God, Facebook like ambushed you because you can't find it again. Right? Like, you guys, this is the reality of social media that I think that it's really important for people to understand because they give up way too soon. So you guys need to send that first initial message, right? Maybe you put up a post about a sale on shave cream, right? Like, oh my gosh, get 2 for $45, all in, no, whatever. And they're all excited and they look at it and they're like, oh my God, that looks good. All right, cool. Now you're going to start messaging people. Right? And you're going to start asking them. And then what you guys are going to do is you're going to write their names down because tomorrow you're going to send them a message and you're going to go, oh my God, girl, I have no idea how your day yesterday went, but my kid tried to shove a grape up their nose. So I thought maybe I should check back in with you again because I know you're just as busy as I am. Did you want in on this? Now, here's the reality. For most of you guys, if you guys got that message, you're at work. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, hell yeah, okay, I really do want it. And then your freaking boss is like creeping over your shoulder and you're like, oh shit, okay, phone down, put it away, get back to work. What happens when you get home? Who totally forgot about it? Is this resonating with any of y'all? Okay, so here's the thing. This is resonating with all of you, yes and yes. How many of you though send one message, don't hear back and decide that that bitch is ghosting you and you're never going to fucking talk to her ass ever again because she's an asshole and doesn't support your business? Right? We do. And yet this is not how you guys have to have both perspectives, especially on social media, because you can't see the other person, right? And so instead of thinking, oh man, my poor female customer base is run ragged, exhausted, overwhelmed, trying to be teachers, moms, dance instructors, like all of these wives, all of these things, instead of giving her that same grace, we take on all of our insecurities. We take on all of the things that make us feel icky and yucky, and we pile those on. Your message wasn't good enough. Wow, Lucy Heinen, way to say way too much. You should have included a picture. Next time you should spend 35 minutes on Canva and make it pretty to make sure that, they're super interested as soon as they see that message. Oh man, you better not send another message because she didn't respond to your last one. You're being really pushy and aggressive. You should really just lay off. Right? Like, we take all of these insecure bits and pieces and we pile them on and we feel bad about it and we feel guilty about it. And then guess what we don't do? We don't follow up with our core customer that was just trying to do her damn job, right? Maybe she's a barista. Could y'all take a phone call as a barista? Have you seen how they work? They're going to burn their face off with the latte thing and die if they answer your message. Right? How many of you guys get home from a day at work and you're just damn exhausted? You don't even want to look at your messages. Right? Like, you guys, this is not personal. So my number one tip for you guys in social media is that you've got to message 3 times. 3. Okay. Now that third message, I always use what I call opt out verbiage, because this is another big social media mistake that I guarantee you guys are all making, and you might even be doing it in person, but it's more apparent on social media. How many of you guys send a message because you're starting to feel pushy and yucky and gross, and you're like, hey, so if you're interested in that bundle, let me know. Or tell me if you want it. Does that sound familiar to y'all? Stop it. Okay, stop it. And here's why. It goes back to the ghosting mentality. If you say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this, please tell me if you want to buy this bundle. What happens if she ghosts you? She was a no by default. I'm going to say that again. She is a no by default, whether she says no or not, because of the way that you worded the question. If she doesn't answer, it's a no. Not only are you assuming a no, right? It's going to make you feel yucky and guilty, but then how do you follow up with that? If you said, tell me if you're interested in buying this buy one, get one free toy bundle, and she says nothing, how are you supposed to reach out again? Hey, so I saw that you saw my message, but you didn't actually say no, but you sort of said no, I guess, because you didn't answer me, but I wanted to check again and see if you wanted it, maybe, question mark. Like, you guys, how awkward and uncomfortable are you feeling right now? I guarantee most of you guys look at your messages, you see those types of messages, and you just don't know what to say next, because you literally set yourself up to fail by using, they have to opt in, right? You used opt in verbiage, right? You guys need to transition that to opt out. So what an opt out message looks like, or communication looks like, is you saying, hey babe, okay, so I'm just checking in one last time. If I don't hear from you again, I'm going to assume that you still want this bundle, but maybe you've got some shit going on. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hang on to it for you unless I hear that you don't want it. If you don't want it, that's totally cool. Please just let me know so that I don't hang on to it. Right? Or, hey, if you don't want this coochie bundle, that's totally cool. Please just let me know, because I'm about to place an order and I'm going to get so anxious worrying about whether or not I'm supposed to order this for you that I'm going to have a freaking panic attack. So if you don't want me to order it, please just let me know. Right? Or something like that, where if she doesn't answer you, you've left the door open that she's still interested, but you said, tell me if you're a no. Do you guys see how now if she ghosts you, it's not an auto no? It leaves the door open, because then you guys can follow up again, right? Like, you guys can transition it. So maybe in 2 weeks from now, you're running another sale, or you're running another promo, or you're offering another product, and you can message her. You could be like, hey, when I was doing that coochie promo last week, I have a feeling you were just crazy busy because I didn't hear from you, but we actually have Body Dew on sale right now, and it's Coochie's kind of, I don't know, like sidekick. So I thought maybe this might be better timing. Is that something that you're, wanting to check out? If not, let me know. And then if you guys keep getting messages like this, oh, Aspen's right there, right? If I keep getting ghosted, I keep going. But then I do my kind of take the pressure off. Maybe I don't know, let's say it's Carrie. Hey, Carrie, babe, so I've messaged you a couple times about some sales and deals, and I don't really want to be up your ass all the time unless you want me to, because that's cool. I support that kind of thing. But if you don't want to hear from me about sales and deals, please, can you just take a second to just say stop so that I know? You guys, 99% of the time, they don't say no. That's what's so crazy. How many of you guys opt in to get text messages and emails from stores for coupons and shit? Like I do all the damn time. I don't want them to stop sending me the coupons just because I haven't shopped with them in 10 years. Like, again, it's us putting these feelings of I'm an inconvenience. She doesn't want to hear from me. You guys, I have some customers that when I ask them like, hey babe, like it's been a minute and I haven't heard from you. Did you want me to take you off my list? And they go, oh my God, no, why would you do that? And I'm like, I don't know, because it's been 7 years and you haven't even said hi. I thought maybe you were dead. Like, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, no, I love hearing from you. You guys, I'm going to tell you right now, the longer you are in this business, you're going to have some customers that literally think that you guys are best friends and you talk to them like actually they respond to you once a year. In their head though, you guys are besties because they read. You guys, how many times do you read a text message or read a message or even read a social media post? Don't like it, don't respond, but take in the information. You guys, she is taking you in. She is learning about you. She is seeing your posts. She feels a connection with you. So what if she doesn't like it? That's the other thing, you guys, is that when it comes down to customer connection and social media, stop looking at likes. Stop looking at likes. Stop looking at shares because that shit doesn't matter. Here's what I'm going to tell you, especially on Facebook. Posts are literally a way of saying, hi, I'm here and I exist. My business is done via Messenger, period. Okay, so I'm going to use my flash sale as an example. So I just had a $43,000 flash sale, which for me wasn't massive, but I put it together in 2 days. And I had like 0 comments, y'all, on anything. So I started messaging my ass off. I did the math. I did $5,000 in sales in their comments to my flash sale posts, which means the other $39,000 was in direct response to my messaging. If you guys are not messaging, you are missing the social media boat. Now, for me, TikTok and Instagram are a little bit of a different beast, right? Because you're hitting more volume, so you may see more success. But when it comes to Facebook, you guys message, 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 and shift your verbiage so that they have to opt out and not opt in. Okay, period. The other way that I utilize my social media, and this again can be Instagram, it can be followers, it can be any of those things, is that and especially your VIP, do most of you guys have a Facebook group, like a VIP group? Okay, here's the way that I treat my Facebook VIP group. I actually treat it as its own independent funnel. Okay, it's a social media database. You guys know, how many of my old school gals know what a connection card is? Okay, you guys, here's what I'm going to tell you right now. I literally treat my Facebook group as a connection card. Right? Like if you guys are super old school, you've got like a shoebox or some shit that all your connection cards live in, and you got to go back to it and it tells you their name and their phone number and how to connect with them, right? And do all the things. You guys, if you go to your members list, it's a connection card box. Right? This is where I'm still doing the same old school shit, just in a new school way. Right? So I call it my VIP group schmooze list. All right. And I 100% still use my connection cards, right? Like I just add that theory to my Facebook group. So here's what I do. I go into, and you guys need to do the same. You go into your group. All right. You're going to copy. This is much easier from a computer. I don't even know if you can do it from a phone. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you do not have a computer, find somebody that does and just ask them if you can use it for a couple hours, because this is worth it. All right. You literally click on your members and you start highlighting. And then you print the list. All right, of every single member of your group. I don't care if your group is 50 people or if it's 5,000 people. You go through, you highlight it, you print it. Does it take a minute? Yep. Is it worth it? Yep. And then here's the other thing that you guys do. Once it's printed, and you guys can see how many members are in your group, just so I have a general idea. In the chat, y'all, can you drop roughly how many women you think are in your Facebook group, just so that I can see it? And then I'll pull some of those numbers. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I saw 407. So ideally, I'm like, it would be kind of cool if I was in contact with my Facebook group women, right? They're in my group, they're interested every, like, I don't know, let's say every 3 months. All right, that's 90 days. So if you have 407 women in your group, you divide 407 by 90, you guys need to message 4.5 women a day from your printed out list. And you will have contacted personally every single woman in your group once every 90 days. Does that sound hard? No. How many of you have women in your group you've never fucking talked to ever? Sorry, effing talked to ever. Right? Do you think maybe if you sent them a message and said, hey, I just wanted to drop you a line and say, thank you so much for being in my group. Do you think maybe you could sell to them? Because you're opening a door. If they've never, okay, here's another perspective hat for you guys to put on. If they've never reached out to you, you're the vibrator lady. Okay. I don't know. Some of you are probably super freak nasty, and I love that. Let your freak flag fly. I was not. I was super prudish. I was like, what is this stuff? Like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, me feeling that way. Am I really going to reach out to this strange woman that does these crazy, funny lives and posts about sex toys if I want something and I've never talked to her before? No. Right? No, you guys, I sell a ton of stuff because I send a message to the new girl in my group, Josie, and I go, oh my gosh, Josie, thank you so much for joining my group. I promise I'm not going to spam you. I'm not going to harass you, but I do want to make sure that we have a personal connection, especially since I kind of sell some personal stuff. So please just know that I'm here for questions. And Josie goes, oh my God, that's so cool. Actually, my friend Andrea added me to this group, so I'm not really sure kind of what's going on. And I'm like, oh, cool. Well, let me tell you about it. And she's like, well, actually, I was kind of, okay, I have a really embarrassing question. You guys, this is true story. So it obviously wasn't Josie. I just looked at her and took her name. But I had one woman that I messaged and she's like, actually, I do, well, maybe I have a question. And we got into this super in-depth conversation about clitoral stimulation because it turns out that she was in a automobile accident when she was younger, and it impacted like her nervous system. So it impacted the way that she orgasmed. She never put the 2 and 2 together. She is like 53, married, 3 kids, never had an orgasm before in her entire life. Do you guys know what she said to me? She goes, it sounds like you know what you're doing. Would $800 be too much of a budget? I go, no, of course not. And she goes, okay, cool. So can you just pick stuff out for me? Never, ever done business with this woman before, ever. And she was just in my group. Now, is that normal? No, there's 2,500 people in my group. Is it going to happen all the time? No, but it does prove, you guys, that you have to open the conversation with your group. So here's the thing. You might be like, well, damn, Lucy, I said I had 3,200 people in my group. Okay, so maybe it's your goal that you're in touch with them once every 5 months or every 6 months. So you would take 3,200, let's say divided by 120 days. That's still 26 messages a day. I'm sorry, not sorry, but you guys, that would literally take half an hour. Tell me you don't spend 30 minutes on social media right now anyway. You guys, I utilize social media, and that's why I get sales, because I utilize the connection piece, not the post and pray method. Okay. Now with your schmooze lists, as you guys go through your schmooze list, right? And you do your, whoa, shit. As you do your 4 messages a day and you put your little check marks on it. Once you're done with your list, you tear it up and you recycle it. I'm in Oregon, so we recycle everything. So don't throw it in the garbage, put it in the recycle bin, do your part for the planet, okay? And then guess what? You print a new one because you've had new women added. You've had women that have been tossed in there since. You've maybe done parties since. You print it out again and you do it again. Is it tedious? Yeah. Is it worth it? Yeah. Do you want to sell some shit? Yeah. So send some messages. Right? And then here's the other thing is if people are feeling that personal connection with you, are they more likely to add more women to your group? Yeah. And if they add more women to your group, guess who's going to message them? You are. Are they more likely to place an order? Yeah. Right? Like bring it back to the basics. And here's the thing, you guys, not everybody is going to see those messages, right? Because there's the Facebook other folder and all the other stuff. Here's the thing though. Some of you guys, I guarantee, have 432 friends on Facebook. So is there a reason you're not adding your VIP group members as friends? Right? Like, unless you have 4,999, Facebook friends, you should be going through and you should be adding these women as friends. Send them a friend request, shoot them a message. You guys can see who your new members are. Because do you really have anything to lose? No. Social media is a tool. Use it. Right? And so I know that this isn't necessarily sales training, but here's the thing is, if you guys can't even have the conversation, it doesn't matter. I can give you message, and I know that there was an Instagram and TikTok training too, which is awesome. But I feel like unless you are contacting these people, then social media doesn't actually matter. Right? Because like I said, it's just going to the mall. Make those connections with those people, right? Like, it's a database. And then that schmooze list, you guys, I literally just keep doing over and over and over again. And then here's the other thing. And I know we're going to have I think that there either was a class on that, might be a class on that, something about that. I'm sure it's come up at some point. There's a ton of pressure. Any of you guys feel like there's pressure for follow-up? I do. I don't feel that anymore, because if they're in my group, they hear from me once every 6 months. So I know worst case scenario, if I forget to send whatever, if I forget to do whatever, it's still more than I was doing before. So think of it as follow-up. If you don't want to think about it as social media, think about it as follow-up. It doesn't matter. I don't care how you think about it, as long as you get it done. So utilize it. If you have 36 women in your group, cool. You only have to do one woman every 2 days. The other thing that I do, and I know that this is a social sales class, but just full transparency, you guys should choose a different theme for your messages for each list. So if you print off your schmooze list, first one could be about sales, right? So when you message all those women, hey, oh my gosh, I just wanted to thank you for being in my group. I super appreciate you. I don't know if you saw it, but I just posted this big old coochie sale and I'm super excited about it. But because you and I haven't chatted before, I wanted to give you an extra 10% off. Right? Make it sales oriented. If you need party bookings, then you're going to go through your entire schmooze list and hit them up about party bookings. If you want to recruit women on your team, go through your entire list, right? You guys message the shit out of people. Okay. Message, 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 message. Then let's talk about how you guys respond. Okay. Because I obviously want to make sure that you guys get some sales tips as well. So again, this doesn't matter if it's in Messenger, it doesn't matter whether it's text, doesn't matter if it's comments, you know what I mean? I don't know how people communicate on Instagram. The only downside to this is with web orders. But here's the thing, if you guys get a web order, you can still reach out to her afterwards and still do all of these things. All right. You're just doing it a little bit backwards because they went to your website first. So one of them is understanding VIP levels and bundles. So I have VIP levels for every single order. Okay, I know that it's a big training with parties and everything else, but I offer it for everything. So if somebody messages me, right, let's say Mandy hits me up and she goes, oh my God, Lucy, I saw your coochie post. I want 2 bottles of coochie. I go, oh, awesome. You got it, babes. Was there anything else that you were thinking? She's like, no, I don't really think so. And I go, okay, well, if you pick out, 2 more things, you're going to hit my $85 VIP level and you're going to get a free goodie. And she goes, well, shit, hold my beer. Let me look at the catalog. Right? So you guys can utilize VIP and bundles. Now, I'm going to kind of talk about both of them because to me, they sort of go hand in hand. I offer bundles at 5 items and at 10 items. So when they buy 4 items, they get the 5th item for free. And I want to explain why that is. So I know some of you guys might know, some of you guys might not know, but I think it's important that you guys don't just, put stuff out there in the universe and hope that it works. I want you guys to understand why. So do any of you guys have the issue, whether it's in home or social media, doesn't matter, where they buy 1 or maybe 2 things? Yeah, and then that's it. And then you're and you're kind of dead in the water. And you're like, okay, I don't really know what to do next, right? Yes, Marianne. So here's the deal. If they pick 1 thing, you're kind of out of luck. If they pick 2 things, okay, what I need for you guys to do is upsell your tail off to get them to pick a 3rd item. So let's say they're at coochie and they're at body dew and you're like, oh my gosh, awesome. Okay. Now I would be a real shit consultant if I didn't tell you that you absolutely need to add aftershave onto this one. Let me talk about the aftershave for a minute. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care. You guys sell her ass an aftershave. Get her to that third item or whatever it might be. Was there anything on your wish list that maybe you want later? And she's like, well, yeah, I was actually kind of thinking about the skinny dip. Okay, cool. Well, here, if we tentatively put that on your list, blah, 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 if you guys can get them to 3. The reason why my bundles are buy 4, get a 5th free is because if you can get them to 3 items, you can come back and say, oh my gosh, since you have 3 things, I'm gonna need you to write that down. That's my verbiage. I'm gonna need you to pick out one more thing so that you get one more for free. Does that sound like buy 4, get 1 free, or does that sound like BOGO? It sounds like buy 1, get 1. So if you guys can get them to 3 items, again, she's messaging you. She's like, I want a coochie cream. I want a body dew. You're like, cool. What else you're thinking? She's like, I was kind of thinking about the skinny dip. I go, okay, cool. Got that down. I'm going to need you to pick out one more thing though, so I can get you one more for free. How many of you guys pass up BOGO? Not me. I'm never going to pass up buy 1, get 1 free. And neither will the majority of your customers. Will some say no? Of course they will, right? But the majority of them are going to go, okay, wait, let me look. And you're going to say, would you like the link to the catalog? And she's going to go, yes, please. Okay. Now here's the other thing. So with those bundles, right? If she gets to 5 things, chances are she just spent, I don't know, like $90-ish. Yeah. Okay. So there's a reason then that my VIP level is at 120. Because if she goes, okay, yeah, I picked out those other things, and I'm going to go, okay, cool. Let me math. I'm going to tell you guys right now, let me math is my code phrase for let me just take a minute because I'm about to sell her some more shit and I just need to breathe. Okay. You guys need to have a code phrase, whether it's let me math. Okay, give me a second to get you your total. It just buys you some time because I'm going to come back and I'm going to be like, oh my God, Carrie, don't hate me. But because you're at $95, I'm gonna need you to pick out one more thing. Was there anything else on your wish list? Because if you pick out one more item, you're gonna get my free VIP gift. Right? And she's like, oh, wait, one more thing and a present? You guys, it still sounds like buy 1, get 1. Right? So she's like, because here's the thing, she just looked at the catalog to go pick out 2 more items. What are the chances she didn't see something else she kind of sort of maybe wanted? It's amazing how fast they come back to you and they're like, you know what, go ahead and add the rapid rewind on there. Right? Because they were looking at it already. They were trying to narrow their 4 items down to 2. So you guys, this is where like utilize those in one-on-one conversations. And they don't need to know what your VIP levels are. Maybe you maxed her out at 3 things and she wouldn't add any more, or, you know, whatever it might be. So tell her you have a VIP level. You guys, I got VIP levels at $67, $842, $290. I don't care. I'm going to keep going and I'm going to let her keep going. And that's where for me, it's not necessarily social selling. It's just upselling via messenger, right? Like that's all I'm doing is I'm utilizing the VIP levels. And I do want to mention, I know I got to wrap up here in a minute so you guys can take a little break, but I also, in addition to the VIP levels, so I have VIP levels at $120. Okay, where is that coming from? Oh, I can't mute.
All morning.
I'm gonna mute everybody again and then unmute you.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Heather. Okay, so my VIP levels are at 120 and at 200. But again, I will make a freaking made up VIP level at any point, right? If I can throw a deal out there to get her to add on an additional item, I'm going to keep going until she's done, right? And usually they're like, nope, that's it, I'm done. And you're going to go, okay, cool, right? Because we're not trying to be pushy. We're not trying to be aggressive. I'm trying to make it easy for her to shop though, right? And I'm going to give her permission to shop. My VIP levels also, like if I'm doing a post or if I'm doing an online sale or something like that, I do have a VIP levels chart, just like I would in home parties, but I go up to over $1,000. I also think that that's really important. If you guys do not have, and for flash sales, I go up to $3,000. Why? Because it sets an expectation, right? That it's never too much money. Because I feel like we put limiting beliefs on our customers. If we're telling them that, oh my God, my tippity top, holy shit, you're the best customer ever is $250, then how does that super sweet, really shy woman feel that her wish list is $872? Because we assume she's thinking from a perspective of, hell yeah, look at me, I'm a sexual goddess. But she might be thinking, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Is something wrong with me? Why is my wish list so expensive? Or am I freak nasty because I want more than one toy? God, is my marriage broken because I feel like I need all of these things? Right? So I actually think if your VIP levels don't go up higher, you're setting limiting beliefs on your customers about what is and isn't acceptable to spend. Also, if you have $1,000 VIP club, $752 no longer seems that expensive, right? If their partner's like, wait, you just spent how much? And they're like, I spent 750. And he's like, you did what? You're like, listen, she posted about her $1,000 VIP club. So really it could have been worse. So you're welcome. Like, you know what I mean? It gives them like some plausible deniability. So utilize those VIPs and utilize those bundles. The other reason why I think that using these techniques via Messenger is so important. And even when you guys are talking about it in your lives, right? You could say something like, by the way, you guys, I'm going to make you pick 3 things, because once you get 3 things, after that, it's buy one, get one. Right? No brainer, right? And they're like, oh, cool. Okay, fine. So utilize those in your lives. You guys can utilize those in your reels. You guys can utilize, you know, oh my God, I'm offering VIP presents this week, extra special at blah, blah, blah level, blah, blah, blah level. Wait till you see my $1,000 VIP prize. Whether they order $1,000 or not, doesn't matter, but you're still planting a seed that they could, and that women do, or have, or can. But women also get what I call the F-its. And I usually use the real word. I don't see any more kids. I feel like everybody probably vacated their children from the building, but I do. I call it the fuck-its. How many of you guys have gone into a store and you're like, I have $50 to spend? Okay. And then we see something that's way over budget. And we're like, and you like really debate that one item, but then you decide to get it. But then you keep shopping for other shit, because at that point you're putting it on a credit card. So fuck it anyway, because you already went way over budget. Tanya knows what's up. She's like, that's me all the time. Yeah. Like, you guys, it happens. It happens to all of us. We're like, oh, I really wasn't going to spend that much money. All right, well, since I'm doing it, I mean, I might as well put all the other shit on the credit card too. Right? Like, it's not a payment plan because they're paying for it. You guys can totally offer payment plans online and via social media as well, like totally separate thing. But we all get in that headspace because she's thinking to herself, I've got $40 cash in my pocket, or I've got $20 in my Venmo account that I can spend. But once she gets the F-its, you guys, and it happens because it was little increments, right? You bought that one thing that was $20. You bought the next thing that was $20, but then you saw something else that was $40 and you're like, oh, it's over budget, but screw it, I'm going to do it anyway. So then when somebody else approaches you, right? Like, I don't know, you're at Costco or Sam's Club and they have the samples of the little mini sausages that are so delicious, and the freaking bag is $20 because it's going to feed an army for the next 10 years. And you're like, oh, okay, do I really need the $40 bag of sausages? You're like, fuck it. All right, I'm already over budget. What does it matter? So with this mentality, you guys, as you push them to keep going, right? You get them to the 3 items. You're like, I'm gonna need you to pick one more thing so you can get one more for free. And she's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And you're like, oh my God, let me math. Okay, Nancy, don't be mad, girl, but I'm gonna need you to get one more thing so I can get you a free present. And she's like, you know what? Screw it. Add the main attraction. And you're like, what just happened? You guys, it happens a lot. And here's the thing, if she adds the main attraction, now she's at $300, you're going to go, oh my God, Nancy, the main attraction is the best choice ever. Don't be pissed though, because if you add that, now you're only $20 away from my next VIP level. So what else do you need? And she's like, nothing, I'm done. And then you guys are going to upsell at the end. And you're going to upsell at the end because Nancy's going to go, nothing, I don't need anything else. And you're like, well, if you add the toy tote and the cleaner, that would get you the VIP level. And she's like, okay. Right? Like, why not? Do it. Or she says, actually, no, I don't need those and I'm done. And you go, okay, cool, I got you. Right? Like, okay, Kathy, this lady did that to me one time and I ended up buying 14 items. You guys, there's a reason why my average order is 12 items. Okay. They can start at 2 things. You can get them higher. Now, are you going to have some women that message you and say, hey, I want coochie and I want body do, and you go, okay, cool. I'm going to need you to, pick out something else. I can hook you up with a little goodie or whatever. And she's like, no, I'm done. You're like, really? There's nothing else you want? She's like, nope, I'm finished. Okay, cool. I got you. Next, right? Don't waste your time, but that doesn't mean you don't go through that entire process, right? So you guys use the upselling process on social media. When you guys are posting, think about ways that you can upsell, right? Like if I post, here's another example on social media. I love, any of you guys do mystery bags or grab bags? Okay, you guys want to know my most expensive grab bag? $7.99, as in $799, because why not? Do you have any idea how many more women buy the $349 mystery bag? Because I guarantee your mystery bags are $49. And that's it. Or maybe $100 and that's it. Why? And they're like, well, she could buy more than one. Yeah, but will she think to? Because when I go to a store and I see mystery bags, I actually think all that shit's the same. Right? It doesn't occur to me that they're different. So make your mystery bags more expensive, right? Like, guys, there's so many different ways. How can I take this to the next level? How can I bump this up a little bit, right? Here's another example. Let's say you're doing a coochie sale. How often do you guys put one bottle of coochie on sale? Right? Yeah, my vets are like, hell no, never. Everybody else is like, oh, I did that yesterday. Right? Okay, cool. Yeah, they can buy one bottle of coochie cream from me, but it's going to be 5% off. 2 of them is going to be 10% off. 3 of them is going to be 15% off. 4 of them is going to be 20% off. 5 of them is going to be 25% off. And 12 of them, which is a year's supply. No, it's not. That would literally last me 25 years, but that's when they get the good discount, right? Go up, bump it up, next level. And Aspen, most people don't buy the $750 bag, but I sell $350 bags because they don't seem as expensive. How often do you guys go into a store and buy the most expensive thing? Because for me, the answer is never. I always look for the cheaper version, right? Not the cheapest though, because that's crap, but that mid-range. So if you guys are offering mystery bags for $19, $39, and $79, I guarantee you sell the $39 bags the most. Maybe one $79 bag, maybe one $19 bag, but most of them are buying the $39 bag. So for me, mystery bags start at $99. Then they're, I don't know, $200. And then they're $350. And then they're $500. And then they're $799. Are they buying the $799 bag? No. But they buy $300 ones and $200 ones. And just for some perspective on that too, let's say somebody did sell one. For some of you, that's your monthly sales because one person took you up on it. You guys would have to sell, let's see, $7.99. If you're usually selling them at $49 a piece, you have to sell 16 $49 mystery bags to make up for my one $799 bag. I guarantee you guys work harder than I do. Just gonna throw that out there right now, right? But I don't cut myself short. If I sell one $300 bag, that's 6 of your $49 bags. So selling one is good enough for me, right? And here's the other thing. I just saw Emery's thing. We need another better buying discount sale to prep the $350 bags. I don't prep them ahead of time. I wait to see what I sell. And then I turn around and I order that shit. You guys don't have to have inventory to do sales and stuff like that, right? You don't have to fork the cash out because yeah, if nobody buys that bag, that sucks. You don't want to be stuck with all that stuff, but that's why I don't care whether they buy it or not, because I didn't fork out the cash ahead of time, right? Like I'm going to do mystery bags because I want to do mystery bags. If I sell a ton of them, cool. I'll check out corporate, see what's on the sale page and hope for the best. Like, you guys don't overcomplicate it. Don't make it too difficult. All right, I need to shut up and let you guys ask questions because I'm supposed to give you guys time for a break. Here's what I'll do. I feel like I should wrap it up. All right. Number one, message, and ask, and use that opt-out verbiage. Use a VIP schmooze list because it's going to help you guys feel like you're in contact with your customer. Remember that there's 2 ways to go about social media, volume or connection. Neither one are wrong, but make sure you know what you're going after so that you can keep things into perspective. Remember that the other women on the other side of the screen have lives just like you do, so that you don't take that shit personally because it's not about you. Message. And then we dropped some VIP bundles, tips, and I didn't talk about prizes, you guys, because it doesn't matter. It's whatever you guys can afford. Don't make them fancy. It's not about the prize. Okay, like it's genuinely, it's not about the prize. Nobody ever asks me. I'm just like, you get a gifty, and then they're super excited that they got some shit for free. And nobody cares what it is. Don't stress it. Don't overthink it. All right.
All right, Mama, you did great. Thank you.
Thanks. So I know I went on a different track there. So
No, it's good.
Okay.
It was all really good. And we do have, this will be, the recording will be uploaded to YouTube probably by tomorrow. So thank you for your time today.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Oh my gosh,
And
you're so
girls,
welcome.
when we post the link for the recording, you'll have the opportunity to ask additional questions in the thread there that she'll have access to. Okay. All right, guys, just hang tight in this room. I'm going to stop this recording. And then at 5:30, we will restart the last class of the day, which is how to be a full-time mom with a successful business.
Oh my God, it's gonna be so good. And are you cool, Heather, if I just answer any questions in the chat?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.